Hi, this is Gary from the Marion Public Library. I've been reading This Tender Land by William Kent Krueger. This book is a coming of age story of four orphan children who are left at an orphanage in Minnesota, which is an Indian school, which, if you know the horrible history of those, is where they tried to send Native American children to schools where they would be taught not to be Native Americans. Um, a horrible practice that went on in our country for about 50 years, late in the 19th and early in the 20th century. Um, in this particular case, two white children, along with their friend, an Indian boy who has had his tongue cut out, and a newly orphaned young lady who's only about 6 or 7 years old in the story, whose mother was a teacher at this school, all flee the school after a number of bad things happen there. They flee down a river, the Minnesota River, mostly until they get to the Mississippi, and then the journey continues on eventually to St. Louis. There's lots of twists and turns. The four children go through unimaginable hardships during the Great Depression, and only a short window into their lives, one summer basically, that they escape from the school, and then eventually, make it to safety in St. Louis. It's a very interesting story. There's lots of things. If you are interested in the time period of the Great Depression, it definitely gives a good picture of that. The river travel is kind of a minor part of that. They show them, paddling down the river, but it really is more about the interactions with people as they take this journey. I highly recommend it. It was a fun book. Well, fun is wrong, but it was a satisfying book, and it ended on a good note. We're happy that William Kent Krueger will be here later this month, and we look forward to that. I definitely would recommend this book to anyone. My read-alikes for this one would be The River by Peter Heller. If you're looking for a river adventure, it's probably a better river adventure than This Tender Land, but it's not a coming-of-age story. For a coming-of-age story, I always go back to, my favorite coming-of-age story would be Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. It's among the best, to me, coming-of-age stories that have ever been written. Thanks for watching. Find these books at the Marion Public Library.